Welcome to today's video, where we're going to dive into the real reason behind John Mahama's visit to Mali and how it's connected to Captain Ibrahim Traoré. You might think you know what's going on, but trust me, there's more to this story than meets the eye. So, stick with us until the end to uncover the truth. Just a few months ago, John Dramani Mahama was re-elected as the president of Ghana. This marked a significant shift in Ghana's political landscape, especially considering the previous administration's relations with neighboring countries. One notable event during Mahama's inauguration was the presence of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the leader of Burkina Faso. Traoré not only attended the ceremony, but also paid Mahama a visit at his home, where they engaged in fruitful discussions about friendship and cooperation. This marked a new era in relations between Ghana and Burkina Faso, moving away from the tense dynamics that existed during the tenure of Mahama's predecessor, Nana Akufo-Addo. Traoré became somewhat of a celebrity in Ghana, with many youths hailing him as a hero. Mahama even joked that Traoré was more popular in Ghana than he was. This newfound camaraderie seemed to signal a fresh start in bilateral relations between the two nations. Recently, Mahama concluded a visit to Mali, where he met with President Assimi Goita. During his visit, Mahama emphasized the importance of cordial relations and the need to move forward together. He stated, "I believe there is always room for dialogue and action because there is a strong economic interest in being part of ECOWAS. However, there's more to this visit than what was publicly disclosed." Let's delve deeper into the real reasons behind Mahama's trip. To understand the context of Mahama's mission, we need to look back at his recent visit to Côte d'Ivoire, where he met with President Alassane Ouattara. During a press conference at the end of that visit, Ouattara made a surprising revelation. ECOWAS has not given up on convincing Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to return to the regional bloc. Ouattara openly challenged Mahama to use his good relationship with Captain Traoré to bring these countries back into ECOWAS. Ouattara stated, "We trust you, Mr. President, that during your discussions with these brotherly countries, you will be able to convince them to remain in ECOWAS, as this concerns the future of the peoples of West Africa. I also want to make an appeal to the AES, Alliance of Sahel States, to reconsider their decision. We were 15 member states, and now we are 12. I truly hope that President Mahama's call will be heard by these three brotherly countries, two of which are our immediate neighbors. It is in our best interest to remain united within ECOWAS. Before we continue, help us in pushing the message forward as we continue to inspire, educate, and empower. Subscribe now, like, and share our videos, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for our next videos. Now let's continue. Mahama responded positively, indicating his willingness to act as a mediator between ECOWAS and the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. He noted, "Yes, of course, why not? I would say that there is always the possibility of bringing our brotherly nations back home. It is better to stay in a group of 15 than to be in a group of 3. These countries play a significant role in our region, and the region also has great importance for them. There are many of their citizens in Côte d'Ivoire, and there are also people from these nations who are suffering along the borderlines. I believe there is always room for dialogue and action because there is a strong economic interest in being part of ECOWAS. As I have said before, it is always preferable to remain in a larger group rather than to isolate ourselves in a smaller one." So, the real purpose of Mahama's visit to Mali was to persuade Goita, Traoré, and General Chiani of Niger to reconsider their decision to leave ECOWAS. But is it too late for such efforts? What do you think? Should these countries return to ECOWAS, or is their path with the AES the right one? However, we're bold enough to tell you that this mission is unlikely to succeed. Here's why. ECOWAS has been reactive rather than proactive in its dealings with the AES. For instance, the AES countries have accused ECOWAS of failing to provide military support against jihadist insurgents. Instead of offering substantial assistance, ECOWAS threatened to deploy a 5,000-strong military force to invade Niger, which was seen as an attempt to restore the deposed president. Meanwhile, the AES countries are now training a joint military force of 5,000 to fight these insurgents. An active and supportive ECOWAS should have offered additional military support, but instead, they've been more focused on rhetoric than action. Furthermore, when Ukraine admitted to supporting jihadists in Mali, which led to the loss of Russian lives and extended the Russia-Ukraine conflict into Africa, ECOWAS failed to sever diplomatic ties with Ukraine. Their muted response highlighted the bloc's tendency to align with Western powers, particularly France, which is exactly what the AES countries are trying to distance themselves from. This neo-colonial influence is a significant barrier to reconciliation between ECOWAS and the AES. Looking ahead, diplomacy dictates that Mahama will likely visit Burkina Faso soon for a reciprocal visit. However, we predict that he will face significant challenges in his mission. With the AES having introduced a new passport, flag, and confederation agreement, it's time for ECOWAS to start negotiating trade and other treaties with the AES rather than trying to turn back the clock. John Mahama's efforts, though well-intentioned, may ultimately prove futile. As we explore this complex situation, we have to ask, what are the real motivations behind ECOWAS' attempts to bring back these countries? Is it genuinely about regional unity, or are there deeper geopolitical interests at play? How do you think Mahama's visit will impact the future of West African politics? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The history behind Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger's decision to leave ECOWAS is deeply rooted in their experiences with military coups and perceived failures by ECOWAS to address their security concerns. These countries have accused ECOWAS of being too aligned with Western powers, particularly France, which they see as a neo-colonial influence. The formation of the AES is not just a political move, but a declaration of independence and a desire to break free from external domination. In this context, ECOWAS' efforts to win back these countries seem more like a desperate attempt to regain control rather than a genuine attempt at reconciliation. Previous diplomatic efforts, such as those led by Senegal's President Bassirou Diomaye Faye, have failed to yield results. The AES leaders have made it clear that their decision to leave ECOWAS is irreversible. As we move forward, it's crucial to consider the implications of these developments for regional stability and cooperation. The AES is moving forward with its own initiatives, including the establishment of a joint military force to combat terrorism. Meanwhile, ECOWAS continues to rely on Western support, which may further alienate the AES countries. The question remains, can ECOWAS adapt and become more proactive in addressing the concerns of its former members, or will it continue to react to the moves of the AES? How do you think the relationship between ECOWAS and the AES will evolve in the coming years? Share your insights with us. In the coming weeks and months, we can expect more developments in this saga. Mahama's visit to Burkina Faso will be closely watched, and the outcome will provide valuable insights into the future of West African politics. Will he succeed in convincing Traoré and other AES leaders to reconsider their stance, or will the AES continue on its current path? The world is watching, and the implications of these decisions will be felt far beyond the borders of West Africa. In addition to these developments, it's worth noting that the economic implications of the AES's formation are significant. The new alliance aims to foster economic cooperation and integration among its member states, potentially creating a more self-sufficient economic bloc. This could lead to increased trade and investment within the region, reducing reliance on external powers. In conclusion, John Mahama's visit to Mali, though framed as a friendly gesture, is part of a larger effort by ECOWAS to persuade the AES countries to return. However, given the deep-seated issues and the AES's determination to forge its own path, it seems unlikely that these efforts will succeed. As we watch this drama unfold, one thing is clear. The future of West African politics will be shaped by the choices made by these regional blocs. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis. As we conclude this video, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the current state of West African politics? If you believe in an Africa that rises on its own terms, if you support this movement for self-reliance, dignity, and progress, then be part of the change. Like this video, share it far and wide, and let the world know that a new Africa is here. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the